So the New York Times has been one of the worst. It always has been bad. I mean, I'll never forget. I think it was 2014 when the IDF struck that cafe of patrons watching the World Cup. And the New York Times wrote the headline, "Missile finds patrons watching World Cup in cafe." And I thought, huh, it's as if the missile was just an autonomous person who just was looking, where are the people? And like just comes in the cafe. I mean, the way that they actually do these mental gymnastics to absolve Israel from accountability is stunning. I think, every paper of record, almost every mainstream media institution has these design, like internal requests for the staff to follow certain protocols, especially when we're talking about Israel Palestine. You're not supposed to say the word Palestine. These are all internally put out to basically say they're style guides, essentially. Don't say this, don't say that, don't refer to Palestine. We saw like MSNBC anchors had to apologize for showing that shrinking map, even though it was completely wholly accurate. We saw NPR had to apologize for saying the word Palestine instead of occupied territory. So we know how this goes. But New York Times took it even further, where they actually issued a style guide internally to their staff saying, you can't use the word occupation. You can't use the word genocide. You can't use the word ethnic cleansing. Okay, so you can't use the word military occupation. Okay, now you're just literally not able to say a fact that is like recognized by the international community, which Israel's flagrantly violating. So if you're not allowed to literally just say the truth and depict what Israel's doing according to international law, like what are we talking about here? So I think that was really revealing when that came out that, oh, the New York Times has taken it much further, where they have really really, put their bias on clear display. And their allegiance is very clear too. I mean, they've hired people who are glorifying the IDF and are liking tweets calling to turn Gaza into a slaughterhouse. They're hiring random people with no experience to adjudicate the mass rape allegations, while they're firing award-winning journalists for simply signing on to petitions calling for Israel to stop, its genocidal onslaught. So you see this double standard rather played out again and again and again. But I think, there's plenty of accounts who correct the headlines of the New York Times, and every single time the New York Times puts out a headline on this issue, they do the passive voice, right? Israelis are slaughtered, Palestinians just drop dead, as if they just dropped dead from a heart attack. I mean, they're always removing who is doing the killing, who is carrying out these policies. And so I think that, if the New York Times and Washington Post did their job, we would not see polls come out like we just did from Pew and back in March that said half of Americans have no idea if more Israelis have died than Palestinians. What an incredible indictment of the corporate media. Or perhaps it's actually showing that they've done exactly what they're designed to do and what their utility is, which is obfuscate this issue, confuse everyone, and make it so that Americans have no idea what the hell is really happening. It is disgusting. They've been a tool for genocide, and they deserve to be held accountable.